Well, it is 5 o'clock and I will actually call to order a special meeting of the Wausau Board of Education. First item on the agenda is, are we having a presentation?
Yes.
Okay, so, and this is a lengthy motion.
Not so much. I'll have the motion up on the screen. I've got two motions. We've got a short board meeting. There are only two motions that are needed, 2/3 votes. I have a PowerPoint prepared to end with both of those motions on the same screen.
Okay,
We've got a half hour to do it, so.
all right, I'm gonna turn it over to you then, Bob.
Sure. We'll take less than a half hour, I'm sure we will. Much of this is information we have seen before. I'll skip through some of it pretty quickly if you've seen it before. Although we're reminded that October 15th, new information sometimes gets revealed by the DPI and it causes us to take this action this late in the school year. This is the calendar, you've seen it all. This is the last step, so we're done after tonight. This is a screen you've seen before. This is how the mill rate changed from last year, final levy, this night last year, to the annual meeting. So at the annual meeting, there were some things that changed, and it fluctuates back and forth, but generally speaking, we were asking the mill rate to go down from $11 to $10.79. But we knew some things were gonna reveal themselves this month. So here's a new slide, and this is what has changed since the annual meeting. So from the annual meeting to now, notice the numbers are all smaller. There are a lot of them, but they don't fluctuate very much because we anticipate what's gonna happen. The decrease in prior year open enrollment, DPI doesn't reveal that until October 15th. We guessed we were off by 2 cents. Increase in parental choice voucher program, and the next one, special needs scholarship program. We're gonna talk about those. There's a special slide talking just about that, because we need people to understand how much we tax for this voucher program. But we don't know what that's gonna be until October 15th. So we guessed we were off by about 5 cents together. Our mill rate went up 5 cents. The increase in declining enrollment is +10. The decrease in revenue enrollment is -10. Those will go together. We've talked about this before. When your enrollment goes down, your revenue limit goes down, but you're protected by a decreasing enrollment exemption. So it goes back up. Now, it's important to understand that the decline in enrollment will continue to cost us. Recapturing that exemption, that's a 1-year exemption. So that will go away next year, probably replaced with another exemption, but we don't get that forever. So the +10 and the -10, it's not just a coincidence. Enrollment goes back, goes down, we get to recapture that revenue limit. Property value, I think this was very accurate. We were off by 0.08 of a decimal, of a percentage point. Changed 1 cent. Decrease in state aid, decrease from what we anticipated. Not decrease from last year, decrease from what we anticipated by a little bit. And then the last one I highlighted in blue, because that's that fill number that we have some flexibility with. How much future debt do we want to prepay? I reduced that by 10 cents, and that was all intentional to hit that same $10.79 mill rate that we suggested at the annual meeting. We don't always have that luxury. This year we have the luxury. We could manipulate that defeasance amount that we levy to hit the exact mill rate that we suggested a month ago. People got tired of seeing these slides, so I just put them. I never do that.
I like that transitioning.
Couldn't resist,
All
right?
the way.
This is in your packet, and it's what has changed since the annual meeting. You'll see a lot of numbers that match, 59, 130, 75. A little bit of a change from Fund 10 to Fund 27 had to be made. We did decrease the defeasance by $425,000. A lot more detail that you can look at later on, but relatively speaking, with a $100-some million budget, these numbers are all pretty small. But there were small adjustments that needed to be made to make sure the budget balances. Here's another cute transition. Above the annual meeting from a month ago, below the final levy, what has changed? The revenue limit went up a little bit. And this has everything to do with that dynamic between revenue limit, tax levy, and aid, and how the three interact. And if you think the revenue limit went up, my taxes are probably gonna go up. And that's not revealed until you look at the next one. Revenue limit is made up of aid plus levy. The aid went down. So now the revenue limit went up, aid went down, what should happen to the general fund levy? It should go up. There are two reasons it went up. The revenue limit went up and the aid went down. So two reasons why that general fund levy had to go up $375,000. But keep in mind, we had the flexibility built in with defeasance. So if you add to that a smaller defeasance number, $425,000 less, we actually had the levy go down $49,000. Mill rate's the same, but the actual levy is lower than what we suggested at the annual meeting. Okay? And again, as a board, I think you should understand that dynamic between revenue limit, general aid, and how much you levy. Because a lot of times people will tell you, more aid to school, more aid to school, more aid to school. Doesn't always mean anything unless the revenue limit goes along with it, right? Here's the revenue limit worksheet. Way too much stuff for you to know it all and memorize it and look at it, but if you want to look at a couple of things, here on that left side is where we talk about our enrollment changes from 2016 to 17 to 18 to 19. You've got an old 3-year rolling average and a new one. And I put in the box in red, 2 years ago, we went up 13. Last year, we went down 74. Mr. Uding's gonna talk about this later with the demographic report. This year, we went down 118. We are in declining enrollment. But you saw during the annual meeting a slide with the state of Wisconsin color-coded. 2/3 of the state is in declining enrollment. So it's nothing that's unique to Wisconsin. And right now, lawmakers are talking about maybe taking the sting out of that declining enrollment and not just using a declining enrollment exemption, but some other protections against school districts that are in declining enrollment. You lose students, you can't just cut costs. You still have classrooms full of students, right? So we are in declining enrollment. The next thing to point out is our 3-year rolling average went down 60. And our 3-year rolling average is this perpetual math problem that keeps defining your next year's revenue limit. We're protected. That's why the $626,000 declining enrollment exists. That's 60 students times how much per each student. Now that just shows you the 8312 is the number of students we use for revenue limit. Property value, we projected it to be 3.69 increase. It went up 3.61. Nothing real exciting there. This one we'll talk about later on with subsequent slides. Those are the impact to our mill rate, our revenue limit, and ultimately our mill rate with 2 voucher programs. One of them is a statewide parental choice program, and the other is the special needs scholarship program. And one of them went up $138,000 from last year, and one of them went up $77,000, but more importantly, the total dollar amount, which we'll see in a subsequent slide. We tax for that, but we don't spend any of it. That's where it appears on the revenue limit worksheet. Here's another number that might be important. That's our defeasance number. Our normal debt payments are about $8 million. We're spending $13 million on debt payments. So we're prepaying some future debt to increase the opportunities that we see in the next 5 years, probably in the next year. That's the mill rate, 1079. That's exactly the way it was when you saw it at the annual meeting. Here's the impact of private voucher program. We could spend 15 minutes on this alone with political perspectives and people's opinions on it. There's a little bit of a push at times to get some of this information on individuals' tax bills, property tax bills, in the name of transparency, telling people what they're paying taxes for. They see school district, $10.79. Perhaps what they should see is public school district, $10.79, and private school voucher program, 30 cents. For us, we tax $1.28 million for these 2 programs. But yet, it's an expense to us. So we tax it, we collect it from the taxpayers, and we send it to Madison to be distributed to those that are entitled to vouchers. It is an increase. I believe last year it was 27 cents on our mill rate. This year it's 30 cents. And we might be in some referendum discussions over the next year or two. We'll be talking about taxpayer impact, mill rate impact. We'll mention numbers like 5, 10, 15 cents, and people will be, we'll go through sticker shock. That's a lot. Well, 30 cents is a lot. That's a big impact on your mill rate. for these two programs.
So our mill rate would be, what,
30 cents less. So instead of
Okay.
10.79, it would be 10.
so 1049 is what? Okay,
This is another one. This one is more accepted because it's been happening for so long, but this is our aid worksheet. And our aid up there, $58.9 million would be our aid before some things are deducted. And the Milwaukee Charter program that's been around for a long time, that takes off 1.59% of our aid. So that costs us $937,000 also, but in a different way. And that's been happening for a long time. It's gotten to be pretty accepted. I want to take a little bit more time on these next 4 or 5 slides because they talk about defeasance specifically. And we're going to talk about it later on tonight in our ops meeting. And it's part of our strategy that we're going through. We're in our 3rd year of defeasance. And it's our leveraging our debt situation in order to open up opportunities for a referendum if the electorate so chose. And what you see here is our original debt structure as of 2017. And I heard board members and maybe admin and community members talking about, we've got to keep our fingers crossed till 2023. 2023, we finally have debt dropping off and we can think about our next referendum. And the discussion was serious enough for me to start looking into a strategy and bringing it to you for prepaying some of that debt. And if we prepay some of that debt, we can create cliffs all over the place. Instead of being married to that 2023 limit, where this is the year, we need to have a referendum because that's the only year we have affordability. So the first year we did this is after the referendum in 2015, our mill rate was $11.46. Then it naturally went down to $11.14. The revenue limit changed, the aid numbers changed, we understood going in, you spend more money through referendum, you're gonna get more aid, so our mill rate went down to $11.14. The first year we tackled defeasance, the cross-hashed blue are no longer there, they got moved into the solid blue. So we took these debt payments, turned it into this. And now we're already creating a little bit of a cliff. It goes from the blue down to just the solid green. That was the first year of defeasance. While doing that, we dropped our mill rate from 11.14 to 11.12. Last year, we did this. We took the cross-hashed purple and we paid it off in the current year. And we created quite a drop. That's what prepaying will do. And it also saved us about $700,000 in interest payments. And now we're in the middle of this strategy and expecting our mill rate to go down yet another 21 cents. And take a look at what our current debt structure is going to be. It's just the dark green. That's what's left of it. We're prepaying all the crosshatch colors.
Bob, you've been able to prepay based on the fact that you have had retired debt in the future, and so you're able to move that?
No. As a matter of fact, it's a little bit different than that. I'm going to have to stand up here. My pointer doesn't work on this screen. But notice our Fund 39 payments went up. Our Fund 39 levy went up quite a bit, but underlying our Fund 10 levy went down. So since our Fund 10 levy went down, a lot of times when you spend more, you get more aid. You get more aid, your levy's gonna go down. Our Fund 10 levy went down, so that allowed us to make bigger payments in Fund 39. Can only do it with callable debt, so all of this debt is not subject to this strategy. When we picked off our callable debt, that's why it's maybe a little bit irregular, picked off some of these payments, paid them here. We can do this again next year for sure. So we're gonna have to talk, if we want a referendum in November 2020, do we wanna let this happen for another year, and then whatever mill rate impact on the referendum would be the following year? Or there's legislation in the last 5 years that allows you to set 2 levies. Tonight would be much more complicated next year if we wanted to do that. We'd say this is with a yes and this is with a no, and you'd have to pass 2 levies and accept the one that's right. This is a nice strategy. It saves us $700,000 in interest payments alone. It lets the mill rate go down from $11 to $10.79, and it creates this opportunity that we would have been waiting till 2023 to do. So, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Any other questions? Okay, we're in the middle of this strategy. We brought it to you several times. I don't like to spring this on you, although about 3 years ago we kind of did. It was late in this process when we said, hey, this is a great idea, let's do it. This is the updated version of what you've seen already. And this just says for each municipality what has happened to their tax bill. And you'll see, City of Wausau, the tax bill for the City of Wausau went up 2.14%. Tax bill for the Village of Brokaw went down to nothing, because there isn't one anymore. That's an updated version of what you've seen already. How are you liking these transitions? These are pretty exciting. I got bored with the same old stuff. Process. Okay. This is just year-over-year changes for every fund. So Fund 10, that levy did go up a little bit. Fund 38 went up. That's our debt retirement for energy efficiency projects. Fund 39, that went up a lot because we are defeasing more debt. Fund 80, we talked about why that one has gone up. Fund 80, community service, we're losing some grants. And we're starting to run out of carryover opportunities, so that had to go up a little bit. Wait till you see this transition, this is fun one. I didn't even know that was one, right? Again,
Sound effects.
keeps you in the game, doesn't it? Okay, this is year over year changes in just expenses for each one of these, and pretty stable. But we expect Fund 10 to go up, salaries, benefits, costs go up. We thankfully had enough revenue to offset the expenses that have gone up, but we expect a profile similar to this almost every year. And then this one's pretty exciting too.
Wow.
Those are the two motions that we would need tonight. I think we need to do them with roll call because we need 2/3 vote, because this is the final budget and this is the final levy. And you can take comfort knowing that when we had the annual meeting, and we kind of look at each other saying, well, what purpose does this serve? Well, it's the electorate telling you what they want, what they want you to do, and you're holding very close to that. And that's, I think, what tonight is about. It's showing how close to the annual meeting and what we presented to the electorate we're going to have you vote on tonight.
Thanks, Bob. Any questions for Bob?
10 minutes.
Okay, hearing none. First, seeking a motion to approve the final 2019-2020 budgets as presented below. Fund 10, expense $105,213,904. $94,743,648 plus transfers to funds 27 and 38. Revenue $105,083,904. Fund 27, $16,500,250. $6,078,018 plus transfer from Fund 10. Other Fund 20, $536,348. Fund 30, expense $15,781,117. Revenue $15,682,717. Fund 40, expense $1,557,720. Revenue $8,000. Fund 50, expense $4,909,903. Revenue $4,639,250. Fund 80, $1,055,056. Levy, fees, and carryover.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. Roll call. Thanks.
Lee Webster,
Yes.
Jim Boucher,
Yes.
Jeff Lee,
Yes.
Beth Martin,
Yes.
Pat McKee,
Yes.
Teresa Miles,
Yes.
Jane Roosh,
No.
Lance Strala,
Yes.
Tricia Zunker.
Yes. Okay. All right, so then we have a second motion. This is regarding the 2019-2020 final tax levy approval. I am seeking a motion to adopt a final tax levy of $46,133,157, representing $29,871,264 for the general fund, $15,634,693 for the debt service funds, and $627,200 for the community service fund.
So moved.
Second.
Jim Boucher,
Yes.
Jeff Lee,
Yes.
Beth Martin,
Yes.
Pat McKee,
Yes.
Teresa Miles,
Yes.
Jane Rush,
Yes.
Lance Trollope,
Yes.
Lee Webster,
Yes.
Tricia Zunker.
Yes. Okay, with that, I am seeking a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.